What is up, my Fear fans? Welcome back to the Z-Man Show. It only took 7 episodes, guys. 7 whole episodes, and we finally got to bring our entire crew back together. We get a chance to finally see, and if you haven't watched the episode, you shouldn't be watching this yet, so here we go. Alicia, she's alive, she's well, she's leading her own little crew, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. But what first, though, Victor gets poisoned? What? Someone actually tries to kill the king of the castle? I mean, why would they do that? I mean, the man's a complete tyrant. I mean, I felt like it was kind of like a Julius Caesar kind of thing going on. We got to start that episode out tonight, mind you. It's called The Portrait. And he's getting his portrait done by one of his people that he managed to save. Apparently, she was an amazing artist because it was a damn good painting, mind you. But, pardon me, she didn't quite get Victor's vision, right? And the way he was talking, it was just like I said, total egomaniac, you know. It was hard to watch him, just go through his whole spiel, because I'm just like, man, do you hear yourself talk? I don't know. He probably doesn't. But we get a chance to see him toss it over the edge, and he throws it down on the ground. He's like, I hate it. You're lucky I didn't throw you over too. And then we get to push back a little forward. We start seeing him turn away person after person, after all these people trying to find a home. And true, to pick and choose, I mean, that right itself is just, it just kind of shows an evil side of you. I mean, either bring them in or don't. Make up your mind. So, I don't know. I'm kind of curious, though, real quick, for those of you who are already sticking in this far. Who are you? Are you Team Victor or are you Team Morgan? And I say there's pretty much, it could be Team Alicia, too, but we haven't seen enough of Alicia in this first part of the season 7. So, right now, if you're with Morgan, you're going to be living it out rough. You're out there in the wasteland. You have minimal food and supplies, manpower, and ammunition, everything else. Or do you go with Victor, even though he's a tyrant? But, and mind you, he could send you to your death, possibly. I mean, his little raid crews and things like that, not all of them have always made it back, his armed people. Howard has managed to make it back every time, his lackey, but the other ones have died. So who would you do? Would you rather follow Victor or Morgan? I'm Team Morgan, just throwing it out there, but let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. And as we push forward into this, so we get a chance to see Morgan gets on this phone, and he's asking Victor for help. Mo's in trouble. She ends up having a double ear infection, all this fun stuff, which June miraculously finds all this out, but whatever, we're going to go with it. But first, Victor's like, you know what, while you're here, and while I have your baby in my grasp, pretty much, you're going to do something I need you to do. And if you don't, you're never going to see her again, and I'm just going to kill you right now, pretty much is what he said. And while all this is going down, a raid gets completed on basically Victor's compound. I mean, these guys have a catapult launching infected, well, not at first infected, but zombies at the building, and some kind of explosives, which we really didn't get a chance to see, mind you, and that was a little annoying. But I will admit, seeing those zombies fly through the air at that catapult working out, it was intriguing. It was interesting. It really was. Flying through the windows and so forth. And then this guy, Arno, which is one of the guys that Victor turned away, he wants his people to have a place. They want in. I mean, that probably wouldn't have been a great idea anyways. So, I mean, Victor was making the right move by not letting them in. But unfortunately, you're putting everybody else at stake, right? So, anyways, fast through the episode, we get Morgan and Victor kind of going at odds because Morgan's saying, hey, I can get the MRAP here, and, we can take care of these fools, and no problem. Victor and his hard-headedness doesn't do it, and then finally he gives in. And while this is all going down, Morgan has to get down to this lower level to get to a walkie-talkie to radio Grace and them so they can get this done. Mind you, though, Victor has the little baby Mo during this entire time, and we see Victor actually kind of, I don't know, talking out his thoughts to the baby, and just kind of like letting loose, because he doesn't let loose to anybody. He doesn't want to show a weakness of any sorts, which I suppose is good as a leader, but except he's keeping it all trapped inside, and now he's starting to go paranoid. He doesn't know who to trust, especially after being poisoned, which, oh man, we ended up finding it was Morgan who did it, and that was surprising. I just didn't fully expect it, especially his big game talking about how, we'll find Alicia, and well, actually, I guess he was saying, I'll find Alicia, but then finally Victor was like, no, we'll find her. And there was this close to finally kind of like gaining some ground. Which, mind you, does Victor deserve that? Absolutely not. I mean, Victor tried to kill Morgan. So, if anything, this is just payback, dude. I mean, you should have expected this coming, but you didn't. You let your guard down. He learned a hard lesson, Victor did, once again. But now he's learning who else, did I let through, under my guard, and could they be bad? Could they be looking to take me out? I wouldn't be surprised. Even Howard, who's been with him since the beginning, I think Howard started to see that, Victor is not a great guy, and he's not exactly a great leader either. In fact, so much so, when that scene when basically Morgan goes to pick Victor up, and he's got some of that, I guess, that poison, that colored poison on his fingertip, and immediately Victor puts two and two together and knows it's him. They start to wrestle, and that's when Howard shows up with a couple other guards, and they capture Morgan. But for a moment there, I didn't see the other guards behind Howard. I almost thought Howard was going to kick like Strand down the shaft. I just had this weird feeling like, wow, would that be some crap if they did that? It would be shocking, but they didn't. They didn't do it. They kept Victor alive. Still, man is like got 1,000 lives, I swear to you. The poison did not kill him either, and now again he's on the super paranoia, like who do I trust type deal. So, mind you, so Morgan had to leave, but unfortunately he was about to get thrown off the top of the building, right? Victor was like, no, I'm tossing your butt. But then Grace calls on the old phone and basically says, I'll help get some of those infected walkers that are around your building that the bad crew brought in, that they're about to launch in the building. She'll take them out and figure out which ones are which, as long as you let her come in and get little baby Mo and Morgan out alive. So Victor changes the deal, allows basically Grace to go in and not be able to leave. So her and Mo have to stay there now, and Morgan gets the big boot. Not at a terrible cost, because we get a chance that Morgan comes across, of course, Dwight and Sherry on the horseback with some other mysterious figures, which look very similar to the Marauders that were launching the zombies at the building, at Victor's compound. But it ends up taking them to Alicia. Yeah, we get to see Alicia unmask herself, and she is alive. She is well. And she's been leading a small rabble of people, and obviously they're good people, but they're tired, they're worn, and things are getting really desperate. But it's like, what can Morgan really do to help Alicia at this point? And this is the big question. And I have to wonder to myself, I'm not really sure, unless she's looking for a way into Victor's compound or something, but I'm not sure Morgan possesses that kind of information, at least that would do him any good. And while this is happening, a few straggler zombies make their way towards the gates, and they were all, all her people drew weapons on them, which I'm thinking to myself, just stab them when they get to your fence, no big deal. Until I looked a little closer and I saw the little red flashing light or whatever with the little package on their chests, and I'm like, holy shit, those are those are some kind of explosives, probably with the radiation-packed zombie guts or Lord knows what. And they are, and of course, as Morgan yells out to those idiots to stop firing, it's like when Morgan said it, they decided, yeah, you know what? He said don't, let's fire even more. And so they just unleash on these 3 or 4 zombies, and they explode, and all that red, nasty radioactive shit. And actually, I was screaming at the TV. I'm like, put your masks on, you sons of bitches. Get them on, and then Morgan yells out, run, and then we cut to black. So, guys, finally an episode that didn't completely suck, and actually characters doing what was probably within their character to actually do. Maybe Morgan outside of a little bit. We've seen Morgan get dirty before, and sometimes you have to, especially in this apocalypse. So, I mean, hey, we got to see at least something a little more exciting tonight, as you can maybe tell from me. I kind of sparked my interest a little bit more. I am really curious to see where this season ends out. It looks like we're going to see a flashback of what happened to Alicia. And remember that guy Will in Victor's compound when he was up at the top, and Victor ends up throwing this guy Will off of the building and just totally just destroys his body when he gets to the bottom. Well, anyways, we're going to get to see a little bit more about those two and what was going on, what were their true motives, and furthermore, what is Alicia's plan and what is she looking to try and accomplish here? Because clearly, it seems like there is a group of people that she used to lead that left and maybe became bad. Perhaps those are the ones that now have the broken nuke that didn't go off, but it's been, fractured or whatever? Are those the ones that used to be part of her group, or is that a whole nother entity? Time will tell, guys. 1 episode left of the season. Let's hope they wrap this up and get us on to a fresh second half of Season 7 as we move into 2022, because, as you know, if you've been watching my show, this has not been an awesome start of Season 7, or whatever, Season 7 so far. It's been rough. The writing was rough, total coincidences all over the place, just little innuendos and things of, taking masks off all the time, and, the wind's blowing this way, we're good to go, and it's like, are ya? I mean, they need to get FaceTime on screen. This is true, and how else do you do that? We're not naive to this, right? The filmmakers have to do something. I hope you liked my little rant on tonight's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And if you're enjoying the content, make sure to like and subscribe while you're at it real quick. And go out to my channel and check out the other reviews. World Beyond, I will be watching that here momentarily. And we'll get that review out to you all as well. So other than that, guys, make sure to look out for future content. Like I said, like and subscribe if you are enjoying. And I will catch you guys at the next review. See you guys.